should we expect more games like this from Bryce Young, or do you think this was a fluke?
Well, I know I've been saying, and I'll keep saying, I firmly believe that Bryce is in territory to be like a Tua 2.0, or like it literally like pin it down, like same situation. Like came in the league, the coach wasn't it, the relationship with the ownership, everything was a mess, right? But you got to get it hashed out with a new coach and get the right offensive coordinator, right QB coach around him. I have no doubt that this was what Bryce could look like. Now you just got to see it consistently, right? But because he's a killer in that pocket. Like if you give Bryce a pocket, killer. This is the issue is that he has barely had any pockets all year with how bad this O-line is. So yeah, again, load up on the O-line this draft. I'm saying even first 3 rounds. I'm not even kidding. With the way the Panthers are built right now, I mean, you got a good young defense. I think, like you said, with the receiving core,
yeah.
But you can go, I feel like you can go different directions with that. Like you can go trade, you can go, I'm going to spend some money on a receiver. I think you really got to make sure he has time. Because with Bryce, if he has another year getting killed like this, not only is the confidence going down, the health's going down.
There's going to be an injury.
Yeah, then he's not in that Tua territory. You got to at least keep him healthy. So big changes needed, but give that man a wall. If you give him time, you can see this more consistently than not.
Yeah, he played decently well. I mean, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns. It took Justin Fields how long to get 300 yards? And like this is why, like, I'm not going to go into it too much, but this is why, like, Fields and other quarterbacks, like, I don't care. Like, look at what Bryce Young played with, and he did that in his first year. Like, I don't know. I really liked the way Bryce was playing. It seemed like he finally had some bit of confidence in himself. But yeah, it was a scary game. It was a scary game. I was real scared.
No, I mean, this was. We have to talk about it. I mean, was this the Packers almost playing 40 chess not to have to see Caleb? I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
Pulled the plug last second. LaFleur's like, fuck that. I'm not maybe lose my job for this bullshit.
I was texting. I forget who I was texting, but I was like, the Packers are secretly planning their own demise with this W.
No, they knew. I'm telling you, they almost knew what they were doing. They almost knew what they were doing. I'll say, but jokes aside, Jordan Love past 6 weeks, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's like, all right, Stafford territory with how hot he's been.
Yeah, he's been playing crazy. I mean, he's third in the league. He's tied third in the league for total touchdowns, passing touchdowns.
He's cooking. And then Aaron Jones, first 100+ yard rushing game this season. Obviously, Aaron Jones is getting into, I don't want to say washed territory. I feel so mean, but he's getting into the older territory.
I actually feel like, honestly, this season had to do more with like on and off injuries than actual age. I have a feeling that next year could be one of those years where he just goes off and it's like, do we write off Aaron Jones too early? He's under contract 1 more year.
No, that's the thing is I could see it too. No matter what, even if he has that redemption year, he's getting older regardless. So it's like, even if he doesn't, it's understandable why it's been what it's been this year. And not to, because I almost forgot, I just got to go back to them real quick. I should have said this earlier when we were talking about the Panthers, but back to the Panthers for 1 second. This was also the second game this year where the Panthers had 2 receivers to have 6 or more catches in the same game.
DJ Chark, 2 touchdowns, 98 yards, 6 receptions. I mean, that's your number 2. That's your number 2 to Adam Thielen. Like, this is what Bryce is dealing with.
Get Bryce some help.
Yeah.
J Love becoming a beast.
Fuck David Tepper.
That's one that every Panthers fan can agree on.
I saw Bryce tweet that out. Chuba's a bright spot for them as well, though.
Yeah, no, they got jokes aside. I think the Panthers' biggest issue is the man who's out here running the show.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how Bryce has got to come up with a scheme or something. Bryce, get to thinking. We got faith in you.
Okay, just to finish this game off, because it was a 33-30 win. Bryce Young didn't get the spike off. You don't understand like the amount of like nervousness I had in me. Like, I was like, no, he didn't get it off. And because there had been missed extra points, so I wasn't confident the Packers kicker Anders Carlson was going to get the field goal. To finish off this game, despite playoff hopes, heavily dwindling, this way you wrote, the Packers have a 29% chance to make the playoffs. Do you think, because the Packers are one of those teams I could see winning a playoff game.
I could, but I think like I would lean no. And I think, and then to the second part of the note, more than anything, I think regardless of whether they make it or not this year, this is one of those teams that's in line to like boom out next year or bust out. They're
could see
definitely
it.
in a weird range where it's like, I feel like it's one or the other, where it's like they very well could be one of the best teams in the NFC, or like where Packers fans are going to hit there being like, wait a minute. We hit the drawing board and we give it and all these things we had faith in. And if these young guys are developing, there's gonna be a lot of questions being asked. But if those young guys do develop, like, man, the Packers are in an absolutely premier spot.